Welcome back to Renegade Muscle. I am Geoff Roberts, and I'm here as always with Lee Priest. And today we'll be talking about, we have some old pictures of Lee that we have some questions about. We're going to talk about training, some Lee's hardest training sessions. We're going to talk about...
Just walking into the gym was my fucking hardest training session.
What else are we going to talk about? We have movie talk. I watched some movies that I think you'll be into that I haven't.
We're going to discuss your hair. What's happening there? Is it growing long or what? Or you've run out of hair gel? What's happening up there?
It's growing long because the
lockdown.
Well, they're open, but you have to like wear a fucking plastic cape and shit. I'm like, I'll have my hair go long. I can do it myself, but I butcher it. I'm not really that concerned, to be honest.
No. How it looks now, and if you butchered it, still look the same shit anyway. So
it's true. It's true.
buy some hair gel. Go for the slick look. You're getting those curly little brown locks and a bit of a beard here. Next time I come on, I look like I'm talking to fucking Jesus.
I know. No, I can't grow a beard like that. I wish. I'm not on enough tests.
I can't grow a beard because I got sort of naturally lighter hair. When I do get a beard, I'll have like dark hair here, but then there's light bits in it. So it looks like I got the mange, like there's fucking gaps in my beard just because there's light hair. And then after it gets so long, it's so fucking itchy, it drives me mad. I can't fucking.
I get grays all in it now. It's kind of awesome, actually. So
you're so distinguished.
I know. I really am. Also, listener questions, of course. We didn't get very many. You guys got to ask more questions, but we do have a few that are really good.
When you ask for questions, I notice they just like to comment more than ask a fucking question.
We either get way too many or we don't get enough.
But there's more like, I think this time there's just more comments. Lee's great. Lee's got great arms. Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. That's not a question.
He sure does, though. So this photo that Scott sent me, we're wondering about your outfit in this photo. You're probably about 7 years old here.
I'll tell you.
See that?
Oh, look at that. That is styling, mate. That is
Look at that quad.
Oh, I think I was 16. But look at have you noticed the cord on my sunglasses matches the shorts?
Yeah. You've got neon green short shorts that are really short. I'm surprised your piece isn't hanging out. You've got a red fanny pack and some like Atomics maybe.
No, I wouldn't have had Atomics back then. They would have just been probably Kmart shoes, are they? Or
Kmart shoes. I don't know. What do you think?
What you trying? I'll give me a look. No, I don't think they're Atomics. No. They wouldn't have been, I don't think. I don't think I had Atomics back at that age, at 16, no. Yeah, that would have just been some no-name.
Look at that little guy.
Oh, my God. I can see my cock there, actually. Now that you zoomed in. I'm hanging to the right.
And you got the fucking...
Look at that. See how
old
that matches?
Are you there?
16. Now, look at the...
16?
Look at the glasses and the cords, see? Look at that matches the shorts, mate. There's fucking... Pay attention to detail here.
It does match. See that, guys?
Fucking pay attention to detail.
Well, actually, Scott's going to put it up anyways. So what am I doing? You'll be able to see it in HD.
I was a fucking influencer ahead of my fucking time, Geoff, I tell you.
Is that what it was, or was that just the style back then?
I know you'll be rocking that in the fucking store next week. Don't fucking lie. Don't you worry.
Man, those shorts are something.
Hey, at least they weren't board shorts. I wasn't in the fucking physique division.
What'd you think of Arnold asking, what's his name, who won Arnold men's physique, why they cover their legs up? Did you see that?
I think I did. Yeah, that's a good question. Because it's part of the body, even if the legs are just halfway up your quad, not like the tiny little shorts that I think the other ones wear, but even if it's just like, typical example, those shorts I got on there, even just shorts like that, those sort of tennis type shorts or something, you can at least show some quad because, you can still have nice shaped legs. Like look at fucking male ballet dancers. They have nice quads and legs, but they're not massive, but they're nice shape. So why not include that in the fucking overall physique? You can't just go upper body and fucking calves and what you might as well just do the fucking wheelchair division, you stupid cunts. What's the point of fucking having legs?
Yeah, it's kind of a, I don't know, that division. There's a couple divisions. Can we fucking stop this? Like, come on. Nobody's a fan of men's physique. There's no such thing as a men's physique fan. There's just not. There's parents, friends, children, brothers, coaches, and other competitors. There's no fucking person alive who is just like, I'm going to go spend $50 and watch a men's physique show because I'm a fan of the sport. Those people, it's like, it's an entry fee division. Come on.
Just go to the mall and look at the fucking Abercrombie and Finch posters. There you go. There's fucking.
I mean, I don't know. Bikini's the same way.
To me, it looks like the old days. Bikini and the men's physique is almost like, or the one you're talking about there, it's like the old, remember you go to a local pub or that somewhere in Florida or on the islands and they have the Hawaiian Tropics male model search or the women's Hawaiian Tropics. That's what it looks like. Right. It just looks like one of those fucking contests where you just grabbed a few people off the beach who are in shape, healthy people, and get up on fucking stage. It's all about the money. That's it. But it's like you used to have the bodybuilders. And then we didn't have that anymore. We had another class. It's like, well, I got okay genetics, but I can't be a bodybuilder, so here's a class for you. Well, my genetics are okay. I can't do classic. Okay, then we'll make a class for you. Soon we'll just have the lazy fat cunt class where I got no genetic potential. I don't want to train. I just want to get on stage and fucking do whatever. So, okay, here's a class. We've always got that now with the women, the wellness.
I could
where they're sort of, the wellness class is getting more voluptuous. You know, oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's just get all those brave women on stage who are just so happy in themselves to be fat. But they are brave, Geoff. They are brave. No, they're just lazy cunts that don't want to fucking diet and get in shape. That ain't being brave. Fuck me dead. Maybe if you're fucking overweight and you go to war, that's brave. But you're just overweight, sitting there eating fucking bonbons. That ain't fucking brave. I say it is brave because you never know when you have that next fucking bonbon, you might have a fucking heart attack. So it is brave of them.
What if they made a fat division? Where you try to have the best physique you can, but you have to have like at least like a 50 BMI, or you have to be at least like 50% body fat, and then you just fucking flaunt your fat and see who stores the fat the best.
How did that?
That could be interesting.
Look closely how she won. Look at that. Look at that. The lady who got second only had 4 chins. This one had 5 chins. So she actually just peeked past there. And when they turned around and squeezed their ass and legs together, we counted up. This one only had like maybe 200 fucking hail damage spots. The other one had 400 hail damage. So, you know, yeah.
Boy. And bikini division
this one has a fucking hysterectomy scar as well. So the hysterectomy scar gave her a few more points.
You just think the most wrecked looking physique is the one that wins.
And this one had like 6 kids, so her tits are hanging down to her waist as well. So that sort of really pulled it in for her.
But the bikini division too, like let's take the Olympia. Let's say, like if you want to compete, like it's fine, it's cool, you know, but the bikini division, if you took the Olympia webcast, it's really popular. Tons of people watch it, or the Arnold podcast or the Arnold webcast. If you took those webcasts and you made them separate, like you made each division separate, nobody would watch the bikini. Like, why would the only reason anyone would watch the bikini is because it'd be guys watching it because it's free, only because it's free. Make it $5, 0 views. Any view at a $5 price point, any view is going to be a coach or a competitor or like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the bikini division. It's just like, it doesn't. Why would you be a fan of the bikini division? There's hot girls in bikinis that are basically like that. They're everywhere. You go to South Beach, you go every movie, that's like, because women are objectified horrendously, especially in America. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, we can't say they're objectified because they actually do it. You know, when they see these people, they say, "Oh, these girls doing this and that, cheerleaders or the grid girls. This is terrible." They choose to do it. No one's forcing them to fucking do it. It's like when you ever watch the Olympics now, or you have beach volleyball, prime example. The guys wear a tank top and they wear shorts, like normal length shorts. the girls play beach volleyball. They've got the tiniest little bra top on and these fucking little pants that go up their ass. And when they go to spike the ball, the camera's fucking right there. All I see is ass and vagina. It's like, oh, we want to be respected for our sporting ability. No one's watching your beach volleyball for your sporting ability. We're watching your fucking ass and pussy. Then when you fall in the sand, your fucking ass is up in the air like that. What do you think guys are thinking? They don't give a fuck about you playing beach. It's like the women are practically naked, yet the men are wearing shorts and a tank top. Imagine the guys if they just wore posing trunks playing beach volleyball. The fucking hell, be like.
I mean, I think that I guess that
men are watching
it's something that can be taken advantage of.
Yeah. Men are watching the gymnastics to watch them bounce around their little mounds, hit that fucking hobble horse and the bar when they're doing their gymnastics.
Fucking A. Let's see. What do you think? Listener questions, or you want to talk about training?
I want to know what movies you watched.
So I watched, for the first time ever, I watched Unbreakable.
Oh, Jesus. Hello, fucking 1872.
Yeah.
You
it was
20
years ago?
The Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Jesus.
then they made Split. Did you see Split?
Yeah. Yes.
And then they made Glass.
Yes, they're all linked together.
I saw Split in theaters when it first came out. In 2000, I was 13 years old, so I may have watched Unbreakable when it came out, but I watched it yesterday, and then today we watched Glass.
When you if you go to watch Split on your computer, just be careful when you type that in. You could end up on Pornhub. You could get the wrong Split movie, so just be careful.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, but it's pretty good how they linked them all. I did like Unbreakable was okay. You thought it was going to be better, but if you take it for what it was well made. That was that is that M. Night Shyamalan or whatever his fucking name is? He does some weird fucking shows. You get to the end of the movie, you're like, what the fuck happened? Did he just say that's enough and just close the fucking book? Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, but he's done some weird ones, but they're actually pretty good. The way they tied them all together like that, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, Unbreakable was a little bit slow and a little bit mild. You thought there was going to be more. Like they didn't even show the accident, like the train accident in the beginning. They don't it was a little bit slow. It was good though. And Split was probably the best of all of them. Split was really good.
That had the other guy in, what's his name? The other actor. I can see him, but I can't picture his name.
The guy with all the personalities.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's a badass actor.
Where he was like the lady, then he was somebody else, and yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, and then it tied them all together with the last one, and that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Was his face in the puddle? Or his face was in the puddle of water or something? Yeah.
They all die.
Well, Jeff, they were made 20 years ago. People have probably seen it by now.
No. The one where they all die was made last year.
That was like 2 years ago.
Maybe.
I haven't seen this movie. There's this movie that's been out for a long time. I haven't seen it, but don't tell me how it ends. It's called Titanic. I don't want you to tell me how it ends. Okay.
Don't waste your time. It's a shit love story.
No, but I've seen documentaries on it, but I don't want to know the ending. What happens to the ship? I want to be a surprise.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, that was it. Well, thanks. That was some shit movie you watched. What else did you watch? Was that it? Was that the
Those were the two movies I watched. Unbreakable, then I watched Glass.
I thought you were going to tell me something fucking good, like something new that's out that I was going to be like, wow, I need
that movie is.
But I've fucking seen them back in 1984. What the fuck am I going to watch now?
No.
Did you watch New Order or whatever it's called on Netflix with Charlize Theron in it? New Order or something, Old Order, or it's like their group of like a elite assassin team, but they can't die. Have you seen it? It's on Netflix.
I haven't. I don't really watch Netflix shows very much.
Obviously not. You're watching shows that have been on fucking VHS fucking tape for fucking 20 years.
Okay, the movie was released January 2019, so it was like a year and a half ago.
And Unbreakable, when was that released?
2000. 20 years ago.
That came out with fucking Schindler's List or something. Fucking. It's good to see you keeping up on the movies. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I'm very bad at keeping up with movies. I'm too picky.
I got one you should watch. You probably haven't seen. It's called Top Gun. Check it out. It's just part two's coming out. Part two's coming out. It's only been like 30 years, but you can watch part two maybe in another 20 years' time.
What about the new? Speaking of Tom Cruise, there's new Mission Impossible, or fairly new.
I don't mind them actually. They're sort of a bit silly and funny, but of course,
pretty good.
It's got a good cast there. I like that Simon Pegg guy, and that when he's in that last one when he's running through the thing, he's like, "What are you waiting for?" He's like, "I'm jumping out of a window." He's like, "Oh, sorry. Oh, I had it in 2D." And then it's like he sees it. It's his.
I think those movies are good.
Yeah, it's good action. Oh, I did see. Oh, here you go. You got to see this. If you got a chance, YouTube, Fast and Furious 9. Have you seen the preview with John Cena? John Cena's Vin Diesel's brother in this one. He's an elite assassin, car driver. But my God, I mean, like the other ones when you fought the stunts couldn't get any sillier.
That doesn't ruin the movie for you. I can't watch that shit.
I actually like it because it's so far-fetched. You got to laugh. But trust me, when you're finished here today, go watch Fast and Furious 9 preview. I mean, these stunts are beyond fucking, he's going across one of those bridges that hangs, but one end breaks and he's still driving the car as the bridge is falling and he's driving it up the road. It's like
the car will be free falling like this. It's free falling off a cliff, and the dude runs up the car and then jumps, and it's like.
I know it was on the last one. Yeah, he grabbed on the back of the car. Well, this one here, what about the one where they drove out the window of one high rise and went down into the next high rise?
Everything's fine.
I mean, you got to check out like I said, like they've gone beyond. Like, when you watched, was it one of the Die Hard movies where Bruce Willis was on the wing of a jet when it was flying and then he crashes down on the freeway and he rolls down? It's like, now that's far-fetched and shit. But this one, just watch the preview. It takes the cake for far as stunts go. It's just...
maybe I'll watch it if I can get.
If you want a good laugh, it's a good one. It's like, woof.
So yeah, let's get off that and talk about some bodybuilding, because I think our fans like the bodybuilding talk based on the analytics. But
the analytics now. Okay, well, let's get analytical.
Who was? I know I hate analytics, to be honest with you, but who was the hardest training partner you ever trained with? Like, who was like the baddest dude in the gym, the most savage trainer?
See, I only trained with like Kurt Miller. I mainly trained with people who were normal people, but I was going to say the hardest person I trained with and craziest person would have been Tom Platz. But as far as like my everyday type of training people, we just trained normal and stuff. I didn't really have any crazy type training partners. We just went in and did it, got in and got out. We didn't nothing crazy, nothing stupid. But Tom Platz I'd say would be the most intense when it comes to training.
What were those workouts like? How often did you train with Tom?
I trained with Tom for almost 6 to 8 months at one time. So they were just crazy. It's like when you go beyond failure, when you just keep doing it, and then he'll give you negatives, and then he'll give you fucking where you got to resist against him. It's like I said, if you're doing laterals, you're doing laterals like this.
Yeah.
After a while they burn, you might stop here. Oh no, Tom would do his set. He'll be doing the here, the here, the here, the here. 5 minutes later, I'm like, fucking hell, is it my set yet? It's fucking 10 minutes later. He's still he goes to total failure. It won't even move fucking half an inch, and that's on all things. So I used to joke and say, Tom, do a comeback. He's like, oh no, Lee, I couldn't. He goes, if I do a comeback and get into that zone, he goes, I just go crazy. It's like when he goes into the gym, his mind just switches like a Jekyll and Hyde. He just goes fucking crazy. It's like even when we're doing like toe presses, you do toe presses on the thing like that, and once he gets tired, I'll grab his shoes and just give him some ones like this. Oh, fucking 5 minutes later, I'm still doing fucking this. I'm like, fucking stop! Your calves are gone; they're dead. And he just goes into that zone where it's fucking crazy.
You did all that stuff too?
Yeah.
Alongside him?
Yeah.
Do you have any? I guess those would stand out. But do you have any workouts that stand out in particular that were just brutal? Maybe when you were younger.
Not offhand. I think most workouts I'd try and do the best I could. I remember, like I said, doing that 1,017 leg press at World Gym just because someone bet me to keep going and going and going. But no, I think most workouts that I did were sometimes brutal, but not to the point like anything crazy. I always used good form and heavy weights, but
Yeah.
I always tried to push myself as hard as I could all the time. But there's nothing that would, if you see Ronnie doing shit, you might see Ronnie doing these heavy weights, but sometimes when he's doing T-bars with all that weight, he's like a fucking accordion. The form's not good. So I was never into doing anything crazy where I could have done heavier weights, but then it's like, what's the point if you're just doing it to impress people or throw the weight around? I didn't want to get injured, so I'd go heavy, but, you're still using good form. That's what I notice. I think on most of my videos, when people watch the training videos, all the comments are always like, look at the form he uses, good form, great form, blah, blah, blah. So textbook reps and stuff like that. So I'd rather train that way than go super stupid.
It's something that people don't, when people talk about like someone like yourself or like a gifted professional bodybuilder, they think about like your ability to build muscle, your ability to burn fat and that sort of thing and recover, but they don't think about when you watch Lee train. I remember watching the Blonde Myth DVDs, and like I specifically remember watching you do, it's everything you do, but when Lee does like a dumbbell press, it's like you can just tell that the mind muscle connection and like you're making that exercise as effective as it could possibly be for building your like the contractions are perfect, the tempo is perfect. Like if you were to look at someone from the side and the dumbbells going up and down, it's kind of all over the place as they bench. Even so, I've been training for 15 years, and when I do dumbbell press, you're pressing those in the exact same plane every time. Every rep looks completely identical to the next one. And if you watch Flex Lewis train,
I only did one rep. We just fucking
repeated. Yeah. But that's something that I don't think you can necessarily teach someone. Like I feel like you just had this unbelievable connection, and you could make the muscle fire perfectly. And I've never been able to personally mimic that, like that perfect form with perfect tempo.
I know what you're asking. You want me to be your trainer? Okay, Geoff. Next time I come to America, I'll come put you through a workout. Okay.
Sounds great. We'll film the whole thing.
He'll be Geoff. You look like that fucking robot in Lost in Space. Warning, warning, fucking arms going like this.
Fuck off.
Danger, Will Robbins, danger.
It's not that bad.
Oh, it's not that bad? Okay.
It's not that bad.
I thought it might have been. I just saw your fucking emergency bracelet there. I don't know what ailments you fucking have.
A whole bunch.
They couldn't fit them all on that little fucking tag, could they?
They couldn't, no. It's full. Both sides are packed with printing.
Does it just say, do not resuscitate? That's it.
Yeah. Let's see if you can read it.
Yep. It says, he is fucked. Whatever's
Don't waste your time.
I haven't read that many words in a fucking book lately. How many fucking ailments do you have? That must have cost you like fucking $200 to get that fucking engraved. Yeah. What do you want put on this? And you hand the guy a fucking list like a scroll from the Dead Sea. Here you go. The guy's like, oh fucking hell! I don't know if I can fit that all on. Hold on.
It's only the most important.
You should be wearing fucking one the size of an Apple iPad on your fucking wrist with all that shit.
I know. I need like a forearm guard, like forearm armor. All the shit that's wrong with me could just be listed on it.
It's like when you break your arm, you wear a plaster cast and people fucking ride on it.
Yes.
You'll be in the back of the ambulance. The guy will be sitting there typing in the computer. And what else does he have? What else?
That's literally how it is. If I were to go to the hospital,
they'll be like, "Oh, fuck him, let him die. This is too much work."
I've been there. Let's see. Well, this is kind of a cool one. Since Lee's grandfather was in the military, did Lee ever think about signing up? And if so, which branch of the military would he have joined?
I thought about it later on in life, but I would have probably the Army. I probably would. Yeah. Probably I would have been good at going through the tunnels like one of those little fucking sewer rats.
Yeah, you could have been in Vietnam in those rat tunnels or whatever they're called.
I would have loved to be in Vietnam. Imagine that, just shooting or fucking gook shooting. Don't spit your water out. It's like duck shooting, but you look for gook.
I was just gonna say you can make a video game called Gook Shooting.
Yeah, you see a little guy walking along with a fucking straw hat.
A wicked quintessential Asian man, like
with the fucking hat. Carry the rice
once in a while,
carry the rice baskets over his shoulders.
Every now and then you get extra points for a woman or a child or a dog.
Yeah, or a fucking just like you can grenade the fucking little city. Boom.
Kill everything. Yeah,
that's how you go. Just go Vietnam mad. No, I would have liked maybe the army. I would have liked to maybe start in the army. Well, actually, the Air Force would be great because I would have loved to fly like one of those jets. When I watch those jets, and I've been up in them, like we can go as a ride along. I've been up in those, and just the acceleration and the fucking power and the way they fucking do it, that would be great. But I think about going into, look, I'm actually wearing a Brazilian fucking army shirt today. Speaking of army,
that's a sweet shirt.
And it's actually got priest on here, my name, in case I forget who I am. Oh, I'm a priest. Oh, here come here, little boy. Now, as I was saying, back to the
do you believe people army bring their boys to Catholic churches still? What the fuck is that?
Hey, you got to learn about sex. Well, parents don't want to teach them about sex, so they give them to the priest. It's like first hand on hand. You can't get better than fucking demonstration, can you now? So
they're like, you got to have the talk with him. No, I'll have the talk with him. No, you have the talk with him. Let's just send him to church.
Yeah, well, he'll get the talk and the fucking practical.
Yep. Hands-on learning.
Yeah. So, no, as I was saying, the army, because then I would have liked to maybe, like in America, you could work your way up here. It's like SAS and stuff like that in America, like a Navy SEAL or something. So I would have liked
Ranger,
work my way up into that type of thing because I was very good at shooting. When I used to go shooting and do long distance, I went to this one place where you had to shoot this target. I forget how far it was, but you get this little award. I've got it over there. They gave it to me at Fort Wainwright. I could go get it, but it's like a thing because I hit the target. I went ding, like the snipers hit it.
Yeah.
So they actually gave me. Look, I'll get it for you because this is like fucking show and tell now. Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna go get it. Look at these pictures he has. There's Travolta, Mental Hamster. Who's that guy? Who's the handsome chap in the?
I'm back. I didn't have to go far. Look at this.
Who's the guy in the V-neck behind you?
Thank you for your shooting skills.
Who's the handsome chap in the V-neck behind you? That dude.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was giving him some tips on how to be a fucking superhero. I got these ones.
Oh yeah. So
and this one.
Oh, it's got to go to your right.
Oh, sorry. There we go.
There. Oh, that's cool.
And on the back.
A little further away from the camera. There you go.
And then this one.
Department of the Army.
Department of the Army, United States of America, and on the back it's got.
Oh, cool.
And then this is the one for hitting the target.
No shit. Little musket thing there. That's pretty legit.
This is a nice one because I think it actually, look at that one. It's got this on one side.
Is it heavy? Big and heavy?
Yes, it is.
Looks heavy.
And then on this side.
Nice. Persuasive in peace, invincible in war. Sick.
Support your troops, people, and the police. So that was nice, wasn't it? Lee's pretty. Yeah. I got some shooting when I was in England too, where I was doing the clay pot shooting. Boom, boom. First time ever. Boom, I'm blowing apart. Then they started doing the double ones. Didn't fucking phase me. Boom, boom. I shot them even double. They couldn't stop fucking Lee when he's got a gun in his hand. I go into fucking Rambo mode.
Do you own a gun?
No, we can't have them in Australia.
Oh, that's horseshit. I wasn't so good at the sniping, like from stuff from long distance, but I was good at shooting like ducks and shit out of the sky and the clay pigeons.
Yeah. I did think I would be
It's fun.
because when it comes to hand and coordination, I guess I was okay with the racing and the drag racing, that sort of hand-eye coordination thing. But yeah, as soon as I did it, I was like, okay, because you got to almost anticipate where it's going, and there's no use trying to line it up with sights. You're just looking down the barrel. So yeah, but then I started doing the double ones. It was like boom, boom, and I get them both. I'll try and find the video if I can. I'll send it to you.
Sounds.
I impressed myself.
2 of them. How far away was the target that you hit that got you that award?
In yards. I remember I could just barely see it, even like down the thing. It was like this big, it was like a solid metal plate up on a post they had up on this ridge.
Yep.
And he's like, there it is. I'm like, where? And then when you look down the scope, you can sort of see it. So it was like, and then when you pulled it, then it was almost like a second or two delay. Ding!
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to hit it?
It was one of those things I was hoping, but it's one of those, because then you think luckily it wasn't a fucking windy day and shit, so I didn't have to be like in the movie Sniper and shit shooter where you got wind speed fucking 7. Let me adjust for that. Let me adjust for the fucking mildew in the air and shit like that. So
let's see how steady your hand is. You must have steady hands. Look at that.
And that's with a couple of coffees and A5.
Some guys have all the luck,
Hold on, here's my right hand. It's not as steady.
It doesn't stop. Yeah,
Stop it.
That explains why that hand is so jacked.
Yeah, they both are actually. I'm ambidextrous. Sometimes it takes a long time to come, Geoff. I got to change hands.
I can't relate to that.
I know. Well, you're married. You got someone to do it for you.
Sometimes.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott here. I'm going to jump in with a quick commercial break, and then we'll get right back to the program. So I'm trying to be creative now, and say something unique each time now that I do one of these ads. So today with TrueNutrition.com, I'm going to focus on the fact that you don't have to be tethered to a prefabbed pre-workout anymore. I've been using pre-workout since 2005, 6, I don't know. That's about when they started getting real popular with Jack 3D. But anyway, you get the doses that they give you, and sometimes they're good. There's some good ones out there. There's some good ones with good flavor. Sometimes they're cut in corners. Sometimes there's one with a good flavor that still was cut in corners. And what I'm going to talk about today is the fact that you don't have to be tethered to these prefabbed pre-workouts anymore. You could still use them, and if you want to, you can amp them up. You can charge them up by adding in some bulk citrulline malate or some bulk beta-alanine. We all have a unique response to supplements. Surprise, surprise. We talk about that all the time. We all have a unique response to drugs and training, and nutrition. Why wouldn't we have a unique response to supplements too? So you can get more what you want. You can get more what you like too. Like I like that beta-alanine tingle that you get, that flush. I know I'm going to have a good workout when I feel that, but I know other guys that don't like that. So I'll pick up the beta-alanine and I can amp up my pre-workout no matter what I'm taking. If I'm making one myself, if I'm using a prefabbed store-bought product, I can amp that up, supercharge it with the stuff that I like. So I have a bag of the beta-alanine and I have a bag of the citrulline malate. I also keep the EAAs, a bunch of other stuff too. So I make my own supplements at the doses I want. And through experimentation, I figured out what I liked. So I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and do that yourself, and do that by buying the bulk supplements from our sponsor, TrueNutrition.com, and use our code to get an additional 5% off. The code is advices. Plus, for me, obviously it's even more important than you're directly supporting us so that we can keep doing this. I try to, as I've said before, get companies on board they carry products you guys would buy anyway. So if you're going to buy protein, if you're going to buy pre-workouts, then, check out our sponsor, because it directly goes to help us keep putting these shows out. Our other sponsor is getazoth.com. That's AZOTH, getazoth.com. We also have a link to their Amazon. I'm on that kick with Zynamite right now, and I've been experimenting with that. And dopamine is that, like I said last time in the last ad, molecule of more. Dopamine is what keeps us in drive, keeps us in the game, keeps us seeking, keeps us wanting to achieve. And, I want to try to keep my dopamine up during the day. Of course, Dr. Dean says we want to keep it down at night. So I definitely want to try to flush that out before I go to bed. But, nonetheless, I want to keep that drive up. I want to try to achieve as much as I can. I'm 43 now. I hopefully have a good few years left in me, but I want to make sure I can get the most out of those years and be as successful as possible. And it's products like Azoth 2.0 and products like Total Focus, Pure Energy. Those things help me to stay on my task and get as much done, be as productive as I can. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. Oh, and we do have a code for them. Advice is 10. That's good at both the Amazon and at getazoth.com. Thanks for listening.
Dom Hitchin. This dude is a what would I call him? An avid listener. What's up, Dom?
Avid.
Dom Hitchin. Since you were both stumped last time about what's your favorite animal, how about what's your least favorite animal?
Oh.
And what's the worst experience you've had with one? Now, Scott and I were talking, you live in Australia, the shit animal capital of the world. So least favorite animal, and if you have a story about your worst interaction with an animal.
I wouldn't call it an animal, but the worst thing I hate would be spiders, because they're just fucking creepy. And here in Australia, we've got the fucking big ones. And when I was younger once, there was a big one on the fucking wall, where you wake up at night time, you're like, fuck, I'll go get the broom and kill it. And you come back and the fucking thing's gone. You're like, where the fuck did it go? Now you're fucking looking around your room. You're like, where is it? So I went back to bed and I was sleeping. I woke up and I thought I had this cockroach on my back. So I reached around. This was like I was living up, with windows open at summertime. I grab it and this thing fucking wraps around my fingers and I fucking throw it like that on the bed. I turn the light on. There's this big spider just sitting on the bed doing this like up and down, ready to fucking pounce. So I hit it with a fucking shoe and killed the cunt. But
how big was it?
It bit me on the back and it fucking stung. It was about that big with its legs
Get the
stretched
fuck
out.
Out of here. And furry?
Yeah.
Dude.
But the worst animal I probably think is, well, it's not an animal, it's probably a mammal, or what do they call it? A snake. Snakes don't bother me, but when people have them for pets, I'm like, what the fuck's a snake do? You got to keep it in this thing with the temperature just fucking perfect. Here, let me get my snake out. It just sits there. What? I can't fucking fetch. You can't fucking do anything.
It would be cool once a month when a whole fucking rat or whatever. That's it.
Look, if I'm going to get a snake, I'm going for a python and feed it the fucking neighbour's kid. I'm going to get some fucking entertainment. Fuck a rat. I'm going to watch the kid get fucking choked out and fucking swallowed a little prick. They go, excuse me, Lee, have you seen Harry? Nah, I haven't seen Harry. I saw him playing up the fucking street not long ago. Here's my snake with this big fucking bump in it. Hurry up and digest that cunt before the police come and check us out, will we?
No evidence. Gone. Because they'll digest everything.
I know. That's the thing. So as far as animals go, the one I hate, I don't really hate it, but it's just useless if you have one as a pet. But even again, I don't really hate any animal. It's like, because when I
would
go
say any like a wasp probably is my least favorite.
Yeah, it's more like a shitty insect, like a bee.
Because the fuckers just sting you for no reason. And well, I guess it's not no reason, but I don't know. I'm not.
But at least with a bee, if it stings you, the cunt's going to die once it gets that stinger out of it. So
I don't think a wasp will though.
No, did I just repeat?
I think
or a scorpion.
Yeah,
when I lived in Texas, there was lots of scorpions. They're not really in Arizona, but they're not really an animal, are they? If we're going for animals, it's hard to say because I go to the zoo and I see all these wonderful animals. Some are ugly, but I don't hate them, like a rhinoceros and some of these other things. A hippopotamus is like fucking ugly. Imagine being eaten by a hippopotamus. They kill so many people. Have you seen the fucking teeth on them?
They're fucking.
No,
ugh.
I don't.
Yeah, you can't really hate any of them. I mean, they're kind of all pivotal to. I'm not sure what a wasp's role is in the ecosystem. I don't know.
But that's like a
nothing
fly.
preys on
That's
a wasp.
like a fly. When you're having summertime, you're having a barbecue and all these fucking flies come around. You're like, who the fuck? What's the good of a fly or fucking mosquitoes? It's like, in what part of the evolution chain do these cunts fit? And because they're fucking a nuisance. It's like, you know.
Yeah. Horse flies, or what do you guys call those? The fucking.
Yeah, same here, and they fucking sting.
Oh yeah,
They're
like not, they're worse than a mosquito, but not as bad as a bee. But they're fucking all over you. Like today we're outside.
Have you ever noticed though? You can't feel those fuckers when they land on you. It's like they're fucking ninjas. You'll be just doing something, all of a sudden you look down, there's this big fucking fly there. You're like, fuck. The good thing is they're slow though. You can fucking whack them, but it's like they land on you like this. They land on you so soft. They're just fucking walking, and all of a sudden, bah! You're like, you fucking prick.
Too.
Yeah, but those sort of.
I do have a. One time I was mowing, I was helping my buddy mow his lawn, and I was doing the push mow, and I mowed over, and I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I was probably like 19. I mowed over like a ground bee nest, and they went all up my fucking shorts and my shirt. I got stung like a dozen. It was brutal.
Good thing you weren't allergic to bees.
Yeah, I'm not allergic. I mean, at least at the time, I haven't been stung in 10 years, but I wasn't allergic at all. And
you mean anaphylactic's not on your fucking bracelet there? They couldn't.
No, that's not. That's not.
No, but
that's about the only thing it is.
No, but as far as I don't really hate any animal because
you've never been stung or bitten by something and got on a bad reaction or anything like that.
A woman.
Well.
I got a bad reaction. No, not really. No, but if you watch the Discovery Channel and you see these safaris in Africa, even like you get those ugly hyena dogs, but they're pretty cool dogs. They got those fucking short necks, and you see them ripping the bodies apart. So
yeah,
no, I couldn't say there's really any animal I dislike. There's, like I said, a snake as a pet I see as being useless, but no, I don't really think. No, see, we can't name our favorite, and we can't name one that we don't like because
it's just too many. But I was
reading the book the other day. I can't remember the exact number, but they had a thing on like insects in general, and billions and billions of fucking insects there are. It's like fucking crazy the amount. It's like if them fuckers ever knew how to attack us and fucking got together and went, hey, let's all fucking go out and kill these humans. Would be fucked. There was a TV show a long time ago called Zoo. Did you ever watch it?
Because they fucking get along and we don't.
Yeah, there's one called Zoo. It's about the animals finally get this like virus and it makes them turn on humans. There's three series in it, like episodes.
Netflix? Is it? It's Netflix,
yeah,
right?
It's still on one of them somewhere. Yeah, but it's like they get this gene in them that makes them turn on humans, so they start taking the world back, and these animals just start working together to kill humans. It's like if that ever happened, we'd be fucked because even if it's something as beautiful as a horse. I used to ride horses. He has this big, beautiful, fucking majestic thing that takes commands from us, but you think, if this cunt just say, you know what, fucker, you're not hopping on my back today, and he fucking turns around and goes, boof, fucking, you're dead. It's like you get kicked by a horse in the head. Even a fucking cow. Look how cows are. Look, moo, and they walk around so clumsy. But could you imagine if you went out, here, cows, feeding time. They're like, oh, here comes fucking Farmer Brown. Fuck him. And 20 of these cows come fucking charging and just fucking stamp all over you. We'd be fucked, really, if the animals got their shit together.
I wonder that if because apparently the total biomass of ants is greater than the total biomass of humans. Oh, yeah. And so I always wonder, like, could they take us out if they wanted to? Everyone should watch it. Have you seen it's David Attenborough's Kingdom of Ants or the Kingdom of Ants or something?
I think I saw one. Is that where they have like those fucking ants that just eat a lot of shit too? Like they just devour everything. And then it had those red like fire ants that move in like an army. All you see is this fucking sea of ants just fucking moving along. I'm thinking, you know what, if you tied somebody down there, and they're fucking up close, they're fucking things on them.
They'd be fucked, yeah, no doubt.
And the strength too. Imagine an ant our size, because look how small they are, and they can lift like what, 6-7 times their body weight and shit.
Yeah, yeah. My buddies and
even the size they are, if you were fucking in bed and you couldn't move, and a million of those ants come in, you're fucked.
Well, I've said to my buddies, like, how much would an ant have to weigh for it to best you in like a fight to the death. Like, could you handle a 10-pound ant? Probably not. It'd probably be this fucking big, and it would maul. It would grab your leg and probably just tear it apart. There's nothing you could do. Fucking armor plated. Thank God they're small.
Well, even look at the fucking little dog. You get those little fucking pit bulls that have fucking been bred to fucking kill and train. One of those little, look how many fucking kids get killed by dogs and shit because they fucking go rapid. So imagine you being out somewhere, just going for a nice walk, and a group of 10 dogs decides, hey, there's that cunt Geoff over there. Let's go get him. You'd be fucked. Because you have fucking your arm, they'd be biting your arms. Once they pull your arms apart, your neck's exposed and they go in for your fucking neck. Or even, I got 6 cats at home, and sometimes when you play with the cats, if something spooks them, they jump on me and they go, oh, fuck, fucking little cunt scratched me, and it fucking hurts. So when I go to the zoo, I've been to the zoo and I fed the lions and tigers. Have you seen the paws on them fucking things like this and their claws? Imagine one fucking swipe. I said, my house cat fucking hurts. Imagine a fucking tiger or a lion. You'd be just like, hey, I give up. I remember there was a thing on that thing I mentioned once about a guy who got bitten by a shark, and he said it was like a train with razor blades. They were doing like things on, I think it's like that show When Animals Attack, remember? It used to be on TV. There was one guy and he got fucking chewed by a fucking brown grizzly. He said he curled up in the fucking ball, but it still come for him. He goes, all I remember the sound to this day is the teeth of the grizzly, like, going through my skull, just the sound of the skull crunching when it fucking hell. When you're at that point in life, you'd be like, oh, fucking hell, I'm gone, wouldn't you? You'd be fucking.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that I avoid the ocean at all costs. Like, I mean, I might go in like knee deep, but there's just so much shit in the ocean that will fuck you up instantly. I'm not like people who like go out in the ocean and like jump off their boat. Get the fuck out of here. No way. No way.
We had 2 last week. We had 2 people killed by sharks in the last 2 weeks.
People act like it doesn't happen. Like, yeah, it's rare, but they're fucking sharks. It's like, it's more dangerous to drive your car. I have to get to work. I have to drive my car. I don't have to wait around in the ocean hoping a fucking 12-foot shark doesn't eat me.
And the thing is, too, when you have a car crash, it might just be a little fender bender or just like a little ding. Somebody might run up your ass, or you might just hit a pole. When you're in the ocean and a shark takes a chunk out of you, generally it's a good-sized chunk and you're fucked. It's like you're in their domain. You are fucked. It's like
it's a fucking red-hot knife through butter.
Exactly. And the thing is, too, whether it be a shark, a bear, a fucking alligator, a crocodile, hippopotamus, whatever, being fucking eaten alive would have to be one of the worst ways to fucking go, depending where they got you. Like, if they got you around the head, it was quick. But if they're starting at your fucking feet and you're laying there being chewed by a fucking bear because you can't move and he's eating your fucking feet, it's like, what a fucking shitty way to go. You want to hope you pass out from fucking shock or something because you fucking...
There's certain animals that do that almost on purpose. Like they eat animals like fucking like rear end first, so that they're still alive. Certain like apes in the jungle and shit.
I've seen those big Komodo dragons. Have you seen them? There's a video of one of them eating this big deer, and the deer's alive, and he's fucking eating its ass and shoving its head up its asshole, eating him while he's alive. So but you know. Who hasn't eaten an asshole while they're alive? That's what I say.
That's good point. Check out this weather. Can you see?
Oh, look at that water running down the window.
It's not good here. Hopefully we don't lose power.
Oh,
hopefully the internet's not shit from it. But
it's washing. It's God's way of washing the COVID away, Geoff.
Yeah, don't get me started. So. RD, this is from RDRGAO. Oh, actually, his avatar is it looks like a scorpion. It's a little like blue scorpion. How was it to be a pro at a young age? Were you 21 when you turned pro?
Yeah, 20, just turning 21. Yeah.
Damn. How was it to be a pro at a young age and compete with older bodybuilders than you? First of all, did you look up to like the American guys when you were young, like Flex and Kevin, or were they not?
I didn't really look up to them. I'd see them, like some of them, or even like some of the guys, because in Australia I just saw them in the magazine. So
right,
it wasn't, to me, it was like once I turned pro, it was more of a, because I didn't even want to turn pro, I was just competing, and what happened. I got my pro card. I was just going to do the Niagara Falls amateur show. I ended up on the pro stage. So
you just ate food and got to 280. It just happened.
Yeah, and I remember standing on my first pro stage, and I'm just standing there like, oh, look, there's David Durf down there. I was just looking along the lineup going, oh, there's such and such, because before then I'd only seen him in the magazines, and backstage I didn't really talk to anyone. I just kept to myself in a corner. So when I finally got on stage and when they called them out, I'm like, it was more like I was excited standing on stage just watching these people being called out, because it was like I'm actually in the audience, but I'm standing on stage watching these guys I've seen in the magazine. So it was sort of a surreal experience. But I didn't really think about it, because then once you got to know them, it was just like something you did, like a job. So it was nothing like, even when I was 13 and won my first 3 contests at 13, I was competing against guys 18 in the schoolboys division. And then when I was 14, I placed 3rd in the men's open. I was competing against guys in their 30s and stuff. So I've always been competing against older people since I started. So
was there a lot of I imagine, so like Joe Weider, you went to like the Weider offices and he saw you and he's like, why doesn't this fucking guy have a pro card? Give him a pro card, right?
When Jim Mannion saw me, he asked me why I didn't have one, because I'd won my national title 3 times. So he petitioned for it, and then the same day, Irvin Gelb took some photos of me, because Ed Connors introduced me to Irvin Gelb. So they had a little studio at Gold's Gym. He took some Polaroids and photos, and Ed sent them off to Joe Weider that day. And within 2 days, they set up a meeting for us to go meet Joe Weider and sign me to a contract. So, but going up to his office, I remember you walk into his office, it's like this big square building, marble, glass windows, but the paintings on the wall were like Arnold and Franco, and like probably 15-foot high, 8-foot wide oil paintings of all these champions. And then when you get upstairs, he loved those type of real expensive, Remington fucking statuettes of the Old West and all that sort of stuff. And they were all throughout the office. And
it's too bad that that's not around anymore.
Yeah, it was actually a nice place to go. I used to go up there and speak to Peter McGough. He was the senior edler, and I'd go hang out up there, and we'd always laugh and stuff because he was from England. And the good thing was up there, they had a good lunchroom that had a machine for free. You could get fucking chocolates and packets of chips and shit. So every time I went up there, where's Lee? Oh, he's down the fucking back fucking taking chips and chocolates out the machine.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, hey.
When you like came to America or whatever, when you became a pro and you were so young and you were like, you were even amongst pros, like, yeah, maybe you didn't win the Olympia, but your physique was like different kind of. It was like freaky as fuck because of the way that your proportions were and stuff. Did you get like hate from the other pros because you were so young and you were gifted a pro card?
I think so. A few of them took a while to warm up to me. Like when I first come into Golds, they wouldn't talk to me. It's like, oh, who's this new young whippersnapper from Australia, blah, blah, blah. I remember at the time, Jim Quinn and Billy from the Gladiators? They used to always train together and go crazy heavy. I remember one time my friend Kurt Miller, who I met the first day there, because he had known him because he'd always trained to go. It's like, I'll introduce you to Mike Quinn and Billy. He will go, hey, Mike, and this is Lee from it. They went, hi. That was it. So one day I was there, so I was still 20. I was down there, I was doing 180-pound dumbbell presses, just repping them out nice and that. And they were watching. And after I did that, they finally come over. They're like, wow, that's impressive. That's strong. And from that point on, we're like talky, buddy. It was almost like you had to prove yourself first before. Right. They might have thought, oh, he's just another fucking fairy bodybuilder from whatever. Fucking all talk, no show. But once they saw I was strong and did this and that, from that point on, they were pretty friendly. And the other guys, like Flex and them, they were hit and miss. Some days they'd be nice and talk to you. Some days they wouldn't if it was near contest time. But it's like I said, they knew they were going to beat me anyway. But sometimes they would just get very funny and standoffish and stuff like that. But I was the same. I was just in there joking around, being myself. So it didn't really bother me. They'd laugh when I'd come in bulked up and go. I remember Mike Quinn was like, you're going to explode. I'm not Mike Quinn, I'm Mike Matarazzo. He'd be laughing his head off. He goes, fucking hell, Lee, fucking hell. He goes, I'm going to call you the fucking tick. You look like a fucking swollen tick. You're going to explode.
That's a good. You did. You did look like a swollen tick, though.
And then I remember the first time. I think I was still just 21, and I actually had on. It's just so funny. Lee Haney was at the gym, and I asked for a photo with him, and I actually had on he used to have that Total Lee Awesome shirt where it spelt Total, then his name Awesome.
Yep.
And I said, oh, hi, I got the right shirt on today, and that we got talking. I said, why'd you retire? You're so good. He goes, because young kids like you are coming along. That's why I retired. No, but
I wish you didn't retire.
No, it was pretty good back in those days at the gym, yeah. But yeah, you almost had to earn the respect for people to talk to you if you're a new body coming in and stuff like that. So
right, that makes sense. Were you you run the Australian? Was it the Mr. Australia, the Australian title you referred to?
My first Mr. Australia, I won the overall Mr. Australia when I was 17.
Now, does that mean? Is that like the highest Australian title that you can win? Like you're the best bodybuilder in Australia? So you were the best bodybuilder in Australia at 17?
Yeah.
That's fucking
and they
crazy.
They said I was too young to get my pro card. That's why I didn't get it. So at 18...
I think about pictures of you when you're 15, 16. Like you would have won a pro card today in like the middleweights for sure.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because then when I won it when I was 18. They said I was still too young, 19. Oh, you're too young. I said, well, fuck it. I'm not going to do it again. That's why Lou Zuick said, well, come over here and do the Niagara Falls amateur, get your foot in the door over here. And then, just like I said, I was happened to be training at Gold's, Jim Mannion, and that saw me. They go, who's this kid? And they're like, oh, that's Lee from Australia. He's, won his national title 3 times. He's doing the amateur. And they're like, well, he should be competing in the pros, not the amateurs. So that's when they contacted the Australian IFBB again. They finally said, okay, give me the pro card. So I ended up doing the pro show from that point on.
Right. That's nuts. Just fucking crazy. Who?
I think too, because I was lucky, because I trained. I'm not sure if because I trained from such a young age. And like I said, from 13 to 19, I just did it naturally. Halfway through my 19th years when I first took Decker and put on 20 pounds. So if you look online, I'll try to find them. At the beginning of the year when I'm 19, I'm still nice shape and condition. But then after I do the course of Decker and put on 20 pounds, I suddenly have the same conditioning, but I look like a miniature version of Dorian Yates. I suddenly got this thickness, all of a sudden just went, okay, now you've got this density. And I was pretty lucky for some of a young age too. From 20 on, I was lucky to have, I think I got that muscle maturity pretty early, which you sometimes get later on. I think that's why I look different too when I'm young, because sometimes you see young guys who have like freaky muscles, but it still looks soft and spongy and that. But from a young age, I had that real dense, hard look to me on certain things. So maybe that helped a bit too.
So for those of you who may have trouble following along, Lee was the best bodybuilder in Australia 2 years in a row, naturally. Am I hearing that right?
Yep, I was actually natural still at 19 when I won it again.
Fucking Christ. Were those close, or did you whoop those guys?
I think my conditioning and shape, there was a couple of guys there that were bigger, but yet they might have had like shitty legs or lacked the calves. Some had no calves. And I remember one guy, he'd won it a few times before, and when I won, he got so pissed off. How can a fucking young guy that young beat me? I'm such and such, and I'm like, he had a big chest and shit, but that was about it. Someone might have a big chest and a nice back, but his arms were small. His quads were okay shape, but then his calves were like this. So then all of a sudden you get me at 5'5", complete and in shape. You just overall package. Right. If you're judging what you're judging for, you're going to beat them. So yeah, there's some guys that were bigger in that, but when it come down to conditioning and shape and everything else, I beat them. So. Right.
Yeah. That's nuts, dude. Who was the craziest guy you saw? Like when you first started competing at the pro ranks, was there any guy or guys who freaked you out? Like you saw them and you're like, what the fuck is that? Whether it's like their conditioning or their size or a body part, like in the early days when you were a kid.
I think probably someone, when I finally first met Paul Dillette, someone like that, I was just like, wow, this and that.
Yeah.
Or if it was like, remember Eddie Robinson, he had great legs and biceps and stuff like that. So you'd see different things like that. But I think probably overall Paul Dillette might have been the one that sort of you're like, oh, wow, this guy's freaky. But then Paul, because like I said, in 98, Paul lived with me for 8 months. But before then, Paul would be like, oh, shit, Lee, I used to look at you and think the same. And I think about how could you look at me and think that when you got this size? He goes, well, Lee, looking at you at 5'5" and the amount of muscle you carry on your frame, he goes, I'd always tell people, if you were my height, you'd be fucking massive, because they say for every inch you add 10 more pounds of muscle. So he's like, Lee, if you're 6'2", he goes, you'd be fucking the biggest fucking bodybuilder out there. But he goes, now for your height, for your height and your weight now, pound for pound, he goes, you're freakier than me. It's just that, because he was taller and stuff. So pretty much how I looked at him and was like, wow, he's a freak. Paul was looking at me going, because I think it's funny when I hear, like, I think when they asked Jay Cutler who was the freakiest person you've seen, and Jay's like Lee Priest when I first saw him in Gold's Gym. And I think Dave Palumbo on one of his shows, he asked Ed Connors, out of all the people you've seen in Gold's Gym, Ed Connors, and like he's seen everybody, who's the one that impressed you the most and the freakiest? And he said Lee Priest when I saw Lee Priest in there. So I had Ed Connors, I had Jay Cutler, and I think there's somebody else. They all said the same thing. So it's funny to hear that because I never saw myself as that. I just saw myself as Lee in the gym training. I didn't think that these people who were, like I said, Jay was a great bodybuilder. So for him to say that, that's a great compliment. Then for Ed Connors, who's, like I said, he's seen everybody come and go in Golds. I'm expecting him to say Mike Matarazzo or Jim Quinn, someone freaky and that. But he goes, no, Lee Priest was the number one in the gym that, stood out. And then you have even Ronnie Coleman saying, how did I get beat by this fucking Lee Priest at the time? I was going to quit.
Yeah, you come up a lot.
All in positive ways, Geoff. All in positive ways.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you mean by that?
Depending on who you ask.
Hey, they just don't know me. That's all, Geoff. They just don't know me.
Scott was telling me a story about some guy he met named Russ who claimed that he used to train with you. Does that ring a bell? Because then he said somebody came in the gym right after and told Scott that guy's completely full of shit and he's a compulsive liar. But he said that he knew you were buddies, and that you trained together. His name was Russ.
I did train with a guy called Russ. Is he bald? He was bald, and he used to train with me in Arizona, a guy called Russ.
Oh my God.
He's the one actually on that video. I think we talked about it, where I'm training, doing that crazy leg workout, and he goes outside and starts puking.
Oh, okay.
That's Russ, the bald guy, is it? Yes. Yeah.
Did you also?
No, he isn't. Do you see him? Do you? I haven't heard or seen him forever. That was in Scottsdale, Arizona. If you do see him, tell him I said hello. He was a bit crazy. He'd be up and down, and it was like, I didn't know. If you look at him, you probably think he was a bikie or in some sort of shady business type thing. So, yeah, but yeah, we used to train together. There's that video where he's puking outside and stuff like that. Arizona, we used to train at the gym together. So if you see him, tell him I said hello.
Who was the guy? Was it Rusty Jeffers?
Yeah, Rusty. Yeah, there used to be Russ, Rusty Jeffers, and my friend Mike Toft from Arizona. They were the main people we trained together at Gold's or that other gym with. But yeah, Rusty had a gym in his house too where we'd go crazy and do stuff. There's actually a couple of videos of Rusty Jeffers and I doing crazy fucking leg workouts.
There's a video of you guys. You're wearing a yellow shirt and you're fucking blown out, huge. Like you're not. You're not
doing the
fat.
dumbbell presses.
You're doing overhead. You're doing seated overhead dumbbells like 180s, and you're fucking gigantic in that video. I love that video. You're not fat. You're not at that point yet, but you have to be 255 or more.
Because I think there was some photos from that same day. I'm thinking I'm wearing an Under Armour shirt.
Yeah.
I actually lift up my shirt. I actually lift my shirt up at one point and flex my abs, and they're there, and I'm covered in hair because people are like, why are your abs so fucking hairy? But if you search for it, you'll find it. I had the flat top hair too, I think. So yeah. Russ did train with us. It was me, Rusty, Russ, and Mike. We all trained together. He used to do crazy shit. So he's not lying, people. He's not lying. Russ isn't lying.
You had that like 10 weeks out, maybe look. You're fucking pretty lean, but just blown out, crazy.
That's today's fucking 2 weeks outlook, mate. I was ahead of my time. Ahead of my time again, Geoff.
It's true. That was a good one. Best book on lifting / bodybuilding that he's read and would recommend.
Well, one would have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia. Only because I'm in it.
Sure.
So when we did that book, it was funny. I always
because of
people,
what?
When I did the photos.
Right, you're in.
Yeah, I'm in it, Geoff. Come on. But when I did it, when Arnold asked me to do it, Arnold was there. We're taking the photos, and one of the ones I was doing preacher curls, and I'm curling. Arnold's like, stop. That's my Arnold accent. Sounds good, I know. He comes over and I was sweating, so he gets his towel and he's wiping. Hold on, Lee, and he's dabbing my sweat off. Thank you. I go back to doing it. Stop. Arnold gets oil and he starts rubbing oil on my biceps. I said to the photographer, I said, fuck the training pictures. I said, every time Arnold wipes my sweat off and puts oil on me, I said, get fucking pictures of that. That's what I want.
Damn. When they were doing that specifically for the encyclopedia?
Yeah, I did like a lot of the arm stuff. I'm through there a lot because people always bring the book for me to sign. I would recommend that one. And one of my very favorite was, I think Muscle Mag brought it out. I think someone sent me the link the other day on Instagram or Facebook. So whoever it is, if you're watching this and you're that person, I somehow deleted it before I got to look at it. I'm not sure whether you sent me the link where you can still buy it, but it was called Pro Style Bodybuilding by Tom Platz. And it had Tom Platz doing that kneeling down shot he does with his tricep on the front cover. I think it was brought out by Muscle Mag. It was called Pro Style Bodybuilding, and Tom Platz is on the front cover. And that's probably one of the best books when it's just good old basic exercises that you forget about. It's like, because we get so caught up in machines and everyone's trying to get so fucking technical today with all these fancy fucking new age fucking exercises that when you fucking read one of these books, you're like, holy fuck, I forgot about that exercise. It's just a good old basic fucking exercise that's always worked. The wheel hasn't been broken, people, so don't try reinvent the wheel. So, yeah, if you go back to those sort of things, yeah, but Arnold's Encyclopedia and Pro Style Bodybuilding by Tom Platz. There was a series of them, and there's one called Shredded or Shreds. It had Stridum on the cover. It was like brought out by Muscle Mag as well, Robert Kenley, but it had Stridum on the cover, and it was more about the different diets of getting in shape and good basic diets. So that's a good one too, where it's just the good old basic thing. There's no fucking keto. There's no fucking macros. There's no fucking all these other fancy shit mentioned. Yeah, there's none of that shit. It's just a good old fucking basic contest diet if you want to have higher carbs, lower carbs and shit like that. But there was nothing fancy. It was just basic. When it came to bulking up, had the bulking up diets where you have fucking protein drinks made on full cream milk and add fucking oatmeal and ice cream and eat 6 eggs and steak. And yeah, so I'd recommend those books. I think the majority ones were brought out by Robert Kenley and Muscle Mag, and then you got Arnold's book, but highly recommend. So if anyone can find me the Pro Style book again, I'd like to see where I can buy it from because it was a great book. Had some of the best pictures of Tom Platz in it too. He just looked fucking freaky in that.
Those legs. Actually,
but
you know what?
There's so many things we just forget about because you're like, even just something basic, you're like, oh shit, I remember doing that exercise.
This exercise that you do like you lean on something.
Yeah.
On a bar or on a whatever.
Well, you know who taught me that one? Arnold. When I was doing that encyclopedia, when I was doing the book, he goes, Lee, I'm actually doing that in the book. He goes, Lee, this was my favorite tricep exercise. And I'm like, oh, that looks shitty. So I'm doing it. And I'm like, fucking hell, I got the best fucking pump ever in my triceps. That's why now. And then I think later on, I was watching a Flex Lewis thing and Flex goes, I love doing this exercise. And I'm like, where the fuck did you get that from? Because no one was doing it until I started doing it because Arnold showed me. And I guess everyone just forgot about it. So I'd always do that one first. Just go till they burn. You can't do no more than come straight up on the other side of the bar and superset it with close grip. Yep. You'll get the biggest fucking burn and pump in your triceps just using body weight. That's fucking incredible. So
I do those every time I train triceps, and every time I do them, I tell whoever I'm with. Lee Priest taught me this, and Arnold taught him. I don't see other people doing it. It's not all that common.
Jeff, you're fucking blowing my spiel here. I'm just saying how good it is for your triceps, and you're saying you're doing it, and I'm like, oh, fucking hell, okay, well, maybe it doesn't work for it. Maybe it doesn't work for everyone, but the majority of people it works for.
Don't use me as an example.
But seriously, when you do it though, don't you get like the biggest fucking pump in all your free hands? Yeah,
I tend to do it. I tend to do it at the end, or maybe in the middle. I always did it at the very end, last exercise. And like I said, just go to you can't do anything. It almost feels like you're going to fucking face plant the floor. And then you come up and just go close grip and just keep the tension there. It's like incredible. So highly recommend that exercise. You switch to the close grip and it's just like.
Yeah. And then you look in the mirror, especially when I was in shape too, because then it'd be like this big fucking diamond head sticking out. It'd be like, holy fuck. Yeah.
I wish there was a good way to show people what we were talking about. It's kind of. I don't even know. I don't know if they understand what we're talking about, but it's
almost like you're doing the bar to the head. But instead, just put the bar in a squat rack or somewhere on a rack. Put your hands on it, and the bar and your hands don't move, you go down under the bar. So you're sort of in a push-up position, but you go forward and your head's going under the bar. So your arms are you're pushing your body back.
Yep. And your feet are
under.
way out and your body's like this.
Yeah, so you're like that, and your head and body's going under the bar and your arms are pushing you back.
Yeah.
Draw a diagram. Here we go.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like, what would it be like? I mean, there's other exercises that are like that. It's like the difference between.
Yeah, look, here. Look, let's just say this here. Can you see the chair's the bar?
Oh, perfect.
You'd be back like this, and you'd be going down under the bar. I can't do it because this has the back of the chair. That wouldn't be there. So my hands would be on the bar. I'd be going under the bar and then coming back like that.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
And then when you finish, you'd come up and start doing push-ups like that. Oh, I got a bit of a fucking pump there.
You still got that tricep?
Oh, I got a bit of a pump.
Jesus. Holy. Oh, man. You know what? Speaking of books, Greg Valentino's book was very good. Death, Drugs, and Muscle.
I haven't seen it. Is that like a new one or an older one he brought out?
It's an old. I probably read it back in like 2011.
Death, Drugs, and Muscle.
Good, though.
It sounds very scary. I don't want to read it.
It was. He talks about. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I read
remember
Flex Wheelers too.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Lee's got a book. Lee Priest has a book coming out sometime. They're still working on it.
Didn't they fuck you over?
It's been going on for like, by the time this book comes out, there's like 3 years have almost gone past. I could add another fucking 6 chapters to it about what's happened in my life.
Yeah.
But it's going to be okay. It's going to be good. They're working on the forward now and getting photos together for it, for the cover and that. But hopefully, it might be out by the end of the year.
Cool. I'll get one. How much will it cost?
It's called Masturbating with Lee. Actually, you know what I wanted to do? This was going to be my big brain plan, and everyone was doing diet books and books and books, e-books. I said, this is the best thing ever to make money. I'm only going to charge like $2. I'm going to do a book on how to get big and gain weight and how to lose weight. Everyone's going to go, oh, my God, Lee's got 2 books out there. Cheap, let's buy them, pre-order. Get thousands of pre-orders. So it's only $2. And the book is going to have a nice cover, How to Gain Weight by Lee Priest. You open it up on the first page, fucking eat. That's it. That's the book. And on the book on how to lose weight, stop fucking eating. It's like, it's not false advertising. This is fucking truth.
Yeah.
You want to gain weight, first page. Only one page in the book, fucking eat. That's it.
Yeah.
Imagine the money I could make. It's like, it's common knowledge. It's basic information. But it does work, so I'm not putting out false information, am I? So I'm not like being, hey, he ripped us off. No, it's actual factual stuff. And you get what you pay for. It's only $2. Shut up.
I'm so sick. Like the one thing I liked about Rich Piana is his take on these fucking guys. These like skinny little guys that are like, I eat so much, I can't gain weight. And Rich would always say, you're not eating enough. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you're telling me. If you're skinny and you want to get bigger, you're not eating enough. And people be like, well, I'm going to try some D-ball or some test. It's like, if you can't gain any weight naturally, you're going to take the test, you're going to gain 10 pounds, and then you're going to be stuck again. Because you're not.
Or when you come off it, you're going to lose it. It's like, I've seen young kids before. Lee, I can't put on weight. I'm eating all day. What do you eat? Well, for breakfast, I have some toast and that, and then for my lunch, I get a foot-long Subway sandwich, and then I have like a little chocolate-flavored milk, and then for dinner, I'm like, hey, that's not fucking food. It's like when I was young, I remember when I was 18, 19, and I was eating a lot of food, my off-season, I'd sit there, a litre of full cream milk. That was my drink. A loaf of fresh bread, when it's nice and soft and warm, a loaf of fresh bread and a whole barbecue chicken. That was one meal for me. The barbecue chicken, the whole loaf of bread, and the milk. I'd eat the chicken first and put a bit on some of the bread, and then I'd just eat the bread by itself, and then I'd drink the milk, and holy fuck, once I drank that litre of milk on top of the bread, stomach would fucking swell up and shit. But that was one meal. I couldn't probably do it now, but that's how I used to eat, to put the muscle size on and shit. You
Yeah.
tell people, say what? You eat a whole chicken and shit like that. It's like, yeah, that was easy. It's like, but kids today, I have a sandwich and then I have I'm like, what the fuck? What
People
protein
think
do you
that-
What protein do you have? I have peanut butter on the sandwich. It has protein in it. Oh yeah, fucking 6 grams. Don't fucking go overboard.
It's peanut, like nut butters are literally had the same amount of protein as bread, like,
Uh-huh.
per calorie. But people I think people often mistake, and people who are heavy say this about skinny people too. Like they eat so much and they don't get fat. It's like people confuse eating junk food with eating a lot. Just because you see them eat Snickers bars and pizza every day doesn't mean they eat a lot. It just means they eat shit food. And I know, like, these kids come in the store and they're like, I can't wait no matter what I do. I eat pizza every day. It's like,
well, the thing is, I know when I used to eat that, like, you had those cheat days when I was dieting. Some days when I died, I was doing that much cardio. I was getting around 3,500 to 4,000 calories a day on diet food. And that's just clean chicken, couple of steaks a day, rice, vegetables. And to eat, 3,500 calories to 4 on clean food is a lot of fucking food.
yeah.
And then I'd have a cheat day. But, what are you going to eat on your cheat day? And it would happen. I'd go have like a hamburger or something fatty, or I might have a KFC meal, and that would be it. I might have a bucket of chicken. People go, well, that's a lot of food. But that's all I ate that day because, when you eat that fatty food, your guts just go, brah, and you got so much fat you feel satisfied. I'd had the one meal. I probably wouldn't eat for fucking 6 hours later. Whereas when I'm dieting, I'm eating every 2.5 hours, 2 hours, pumping all this food in. But off season, or even if just say it's off season, I'm not dieting. If you go eat a pizza, a large pizza to yourself and something else, garlic bread, you won't eat for probably another 5 or 6 hours because you're so full and content. That's all you've had. So somebody that's eating cleaner food and a lot more of it is going to have a lot more food in their system. So you might have pizza and shit, and then dinner time, I just had eggs on toast, but I eat a lot. It's like, no, it's not. That's really roughly 2 meals of nothing. I've eaten more calories dieting on clean food.
And people don't, I tell this to kids all the time. I'm like, listen, if you were to like come in here and say, I can't squat more than 225, I can't do it. It's like, of course you can. You just have to work at it until you can squat 250. It's the same exact thing with eating. You have to you have to progress at it, and you become better at it, and you can eat, like you just said, you don't get to 280 anymore. You probably can't eat like you used to because you haven't. It's the same way if you're squatting 600 every week and then you stop for 10 years, you can't do it anymore.
But it's
the same. It's the same principle.
And sometimes when they say I can't eat, well, that's fine, because sometimes I never ate large meals. I might have a good sized meal, but then an hour later I might have, a container full of cashew nuts, and then an hour later I might have eaten an ice cream and fucking packet of chips, and then it'll be another meal time. So if you can't eat all these big meals, you don't have to. It's like, have your decent meal of your proteins and that, but then in between put in like maybe some sort of those flapjack type, protein muesli bars that are high in calories, made out of oatmeal and honey and that sort of stuff. There's like 500-600 calories extra there. You have 2 extra of them a day, and then you have 2 extra protein drinks you make of, oatmeal and milk, and put some eggs in, put bananas in. You can add calories, little bits like that, rather than try and eat it all in one meal. Have your decent sized meal, but then every hour or so after that, just snack on little bits of food. And by the end of the day, those little snack meals can add up to an extra 2,000 calories at the end of the day, which you don't really feel like you're eating because you're just eating little bits at a time on top of your other meals. I used to compare it to, like, rather than just sit down and gorge yourself, I'd be like a cow all day. You're just grazing here and there. You just stop and graze. And by the end of the day, you've put in another 2,000 calories extra on top of your meals, easy, just by picking at stuff.
And those, like, if you were to do the big meals, you have to have a pretty fucking, like, you have to have a pretty serious appetite if you're going to eat, like, do like the 3 big meals a day. I mean, some people can do that, but
then it's like you do that, then you eat so much you feel bloated, you don't eat for hours, and then you go take a fucking nap and you fucking just don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like,
It's true. That does happen. But yeah, that's a thing that's, I don't know, just, it's like you're not gaining weight, you're not eating enough. It's very simple. And you think that drugs are going to fix it, you're wrong. Unless it's a drug that makes you hungrier.
Well, the ones that say I can't lose weight unless you've got an actual thyroid problem, trust me, if you clean up your dieting and go from get rid of your processed foods, go to clean eating, doing cardio and training, you're going to drop a couple of kilos just in water the first week or two. So to say you can't lose weight, you're just lying to yourself and bullshitting.
And the thyroid thing is horseshit because I have thyroid disease. I don't have a functioning thyroid. That's one of the things that this is. And I don't like I can lose weight and gain weight at will. It's like if a thyroid issue is making you gain weight, it means that it's not controlled, and which is possible, but you need to get it under control. Then it shouldn't be once you take this little tiny pill once in the morning without food, and that's all you have to do, and your metabolism is normal. It's not a fucking, people like to use that. It's like,
Geoff, don't be like that. It's a disease. It's a disease I have.
Hashimoto's thyroid.
Here comes the disease again, putting hamburger in mouth. Oh, I can't control it.
Yeah. It's a disease. I get annoyed when people call addictions diseases. Like alcoholism is a disease.
Oh, yeah.
It can't be a disease. If you're gonna call
the vodka.
If you're gonna call alcoholism a disease, then we need to get rid of the word addiction because addiction doesn't exist. Like what the fuck? It's not. You know what's a disease? Type 1 diabetes. You know what's a disease? Like fucking
cardiomyopathy in the heart or something.
Crohn's disease. Like those are diseases that you don't have a choice, and you get them because something malfunctioned. You can't just start drinking and get addicted to it and call it a disease. Like it's a fucking hardcore addiction, but it's not a disease.
What about this disease?
Yeah, exactly. Is cigarette smoking a disease? Like get the hell out of here.
This is a hard disease. Look at it.
It's ridiculous. Disease. Fucking people. That's about all I have, Lee.
Their disease is no fucking willpower. That's their disease.
Yeah, seriously.
Or taking accountability for one's actions and what happens in one's life. That's a disease because no one wants to be accountable. It's like going back to food. I can't stand the ones, okay, you're overweight. But then they go, well, it's McDonald's fault, the commercials on TV. And then it's like McDonald's ain't making you fucking buy it. It's like even these young kids.
Everyone sees those commercials.
Here in Australia, they took off the fucking, like the cartoon cereal commercials of Fruit Loops and all that because kids are getting obese. Hey, the young 4-year-old ain't going to the fucking store buying Fruit Loops. The parents are. Just say no. Don't buy it for the kid. It's like no one is forcing you to. I can't remember ever watching a movie when I seen people smoke, when I seen people do this and that made me ever want to start smoking or drinking or fucking doing anything. It's like even when I watch fucking movies of people fucking, I don't go, oh, fuck, I can't wait to get home and fuck. That makes me want to fuck. It's like that's a movie. It's like, oh, we can't have smoking sponsors or beer commercials at sporting events because that's going to make people drink and smoke. No, it's not. Be accountable for your own fucking actions. It's like, it's like when they some of the poor areas are like, oh, these parts of town, the people are alcoholics. Well, it's their fault for putting the alcohol shop in our area. No one's making you go in and buy the shit. There's a fucking.
As if you wouldn't go somewhere else for it.
There's a fruit shop next door. Why don't you fucking go in and buy fruit? No, you go to fucking McDonald's, don't you? Because it's convenient. You got a choice. There's McDonald's. There's an alcohol store. There's a fruit shop and butchers. You're choosing these two fucking easy, convenient shit. No one's forcing you to go in there. But I got a problem. Oh, okay, yeah. Now be accountable, people. That's your fucking. You're not being accountable.
You didn't. You don't strike me. You're not a very You don't have an addictive personality at all, do you?
No,
I don't either.
Nope.
I can't get addicted to stuff, even if I try.
No.
It just doesn't.
I can do something and go. Like I said, I've tried cocaine before. I went, oh, okay, that's fun. It was okay. It felt weird, but I don't need to go. Well, fuck, I need to do it again. I need to do it again. I've got drunk and I felt shit, so I'm like, oh wow, I want that feeling again. Let me lay there and feel sick and go. It's like I've tried different things like that. I tried one of those fucking LSD things once, and oh fuck me dead. I was seeing rainbows. The fucking floor was moving. I was taking a piss. I swear to God, I came out and told my wife, I'm a fucking wolf. She's like, what the fuck you on about? I said, I was taking a piss and this fucking wolf was looking at me out of the toilet telling me my spirit animal's a wolf. And the next thing I said, look, I can't hang around here. I've got to go off and save the fucking galaxy. Like I was tripping like shit on this stuff. And it lasted for like 7 hours.
Was it enjoyable or no?
was just weird because my feet felt weird. I was just like,
I
you'd
wouldn't
lay
like
there. I didn't really like it because then you close your eyes and all I see was these multicolour fucking glowing spider webs, and I'm thinking, who the fuck would? I only ever did it once, but yet people do it once and like, oh, I got to do it again. I've never, even when it comes to steroids, it's like if I was doing a cycle, get ready for a show, I'd light up a syringe and go, okay, I should have it today. I'm like, I'll have it tomorrow. Sometimes it'd sit there for 4 fucking days before I took it, and then off season, people are like, Lee, you on gear, you should take it. I'm like, no, I can't be bothered. And they'll be like, okay, I'll try something. So I'll go do it. So I get a bottle of Decker. I'm like, what? Oh, fucking hell. So I rip it out and I fucking throw it. You know, if I haven't taken it for a while, first shot back and I fucking hurts, I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't need it. Whereas some people are like, they got to have it. They got to have this. They got to have that. I'm like, I've never had that sort of addictive personality where I need it or got to have it. It's just like, I've never been that way. It's like, no, I don't get it when people, I guess some do, but I don't know. It's even when people say, well, Lee, they drink before this. But yeah, but even if you're drinking and become an alcoholic to hide your problems, guess what? When you sober up, your fucking problems are still there. And that's probably even worse because you're fucking, I remember that time I tried cocaine. It's true. Fucking 2 days later, it's fucking Suicide Tuesday. You're fucking depressed. You feel like shit. It's like, oh, fucking hell. Everyone hates me. I should be outside. I can't be bothered going outside. It's like, fuck this shit.
I felt that way like 2 hours later with cocaine.
Like I said, why? And the thing is too, it's like that night I did it. It's like in the beginning, it's like, oh, it's cool. You feel weird. You this and that. But then it's like that feeling gets shorter and shorter. So you're doing another line, but only lasts 10 minutes. You do another line, only lasts 10 minutes. Then you get to the point where nothing fucking happens anymore. All I did was fucking felt like pissing and fucking had a gut full of gas or whatever it's fucking cooked with. And then you're laying in bed, you're like, your fucking nose is blocked, your mouth is dry. You wake up the next morning like,
with a headache.
Oh, that was fun, wasn't it? So no,
yeah, people get I don't know, like
I said, I've been drunk.
I've never had a drug that has ever like gotten a hold of me like that ever. I mean, when I was young, I chewed tobacco when I was young for like
my friend
a while, and it was always so easy for me to just stop and not do it for 3 months. It was just like it never became addicting to me.
I don't even know how people get addicted to cigarettes because I remember I tried one when I was 13. You know, you did tasted like shit. You're coughing. I'm thinking, okay, I know they're addictive and there's addictive things in them that get you addicted to them. But I said, but how do you get past the first packet or two to get addicted? I'm like, you know, if it tasted like chocolate, I'm like, oh, fuck, this tastes like Cadbury's chocolate. I'll have another one. But it tastes that like shit. It's like, it'd be like someone saying dog shit's addictive. So you pick up a piece of dog shit and eat it. You're like, fucking. But
not to mention,
no, you got to eat the shit for at least a month before you get addicted to it. I'm like, hey, I tried one piece of dog shit. I'm not having another fucking piece of dog shit. I don't care how addictive it is. It's like, and then they get the ones, like I said, who just get onto this alcohol. I said, I've been drunk with tiddly and that, and then I'm thinking, who needs that to have fun? But you see these young kids, I've got friends that go out every weekend.
You should get drunk on the show one time.
And they get shit. Oh, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? Every time we swear, we have a shot. Fucking hell. Fuck.
Oh, man. I don't drink at all. I would be wasted in 2 seconds.
Nor do I. Well, how's this? Speaking of drinking, how's this? This is how I was being social 2 weeks ago with the wife, and she drinks tequila. Oh, my God, that stuff, the smell of it. I'm like, ooh. So I brought this, it was some Irish whiskey liqueur, honeycomb and caramel. It was a 700 ml bottle. It says on the bottle, equivalent to 22 standard drinks. Yes, you drank the whole bottle in one night. Me, a non-drinker.
Really?
A non-drinker. I drank the whole bottle in one night. I woke up the next morning. I'm like, I don't feel too bad. And I trained about lunchtime and shit. Didn't have no hangover, nothing. And I drank this whole bottle. When I got to the bottom of it, there's this much left. I said to the wife, how much do you got to drink to get alcohol poisoning?
Were you fucked up?
No, I was sort of just like, I was sort of happy and shit. I could still walk normal. I was talking to her. She was drinking tequila and she disappeared. And all I hear in the bathroom is, blah, blah.
Yeah. I get drunk like that.
I was putting so much shit on her the next day. She goes, how come you're not sick? Or how come? I said, I don't know. Maybe even though I'm a bit overweight and I'm doing all this cardio and I did eat some food beforehand, maybe my metabolism's just fucking, because I was drinking, every time I had a shot of it, I'd also had I had my Powerade, you know, the Powerade you mix in water. So every time I had a shot of whiskey, I was drinking a whole glass like this, full of electrolytes and fucking water.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's what made me not get so bad. But no, it's fine the next day. But she was fucking wasted for 2 days. She's like,
Yeah, like people fucking, I don't get it. The drinking thing is, I
and that's
don't
the
get
thing
it.
too.
I really
And the
don't.
people that say they want to build muscle, I had a young kid at the gym talking to this. Lee, I need to put some weight on. And he's same sort of thing. What do you eat? He showed me. Wasn't eating enough. So I said, look, okay, I'll help you. Here's a diet. Here's some training. Blah blah blah. What about drugs? Don't worry about drugs. Just eat properly and train. So I'm trying to help him. But then I look at his Facebook page, going on a bender, doing this. So I wrote to him and said, mate, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm only young. I'm allowed to. I said, look, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, go on benders because you're young. That's fine. But don't ask me to help you put weight on when I see from Friday night to Sunday, you're out getting fucking pissed. I don't see it in the gym Monday and Tuesday because you still feel like shit. The 2 days I see you at the gym is probably Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday you're pumping up because you're going out again Friday night. So really you're getting in 2 or 3 days of proper training, which ain't even really proper because from Friday to Sunday you're drinking and fucking going on these benders. So for 3 days you're not even really fucking eating. So I said, look, if that's what you want to do and have fun, go ahead and do it. But don't complain you're not fucking getting anywhere in bodybuilding if that's what you're going to fucking do every weekend.
Right. And even if you do go to the gym on Monday or Tuesday, there's no fucking way you're going to have a good workout. No way.
And plus, too, that whole weekend, all you've done is drank and you got so pissed you haven't eaten any meals. You're fucking hungover the next day. So you go another whole day without eating and then you go out and get drunk again. It's like, so you've gone almost 72 hours with very minimal food. So if you do train Monday and Tuesday, you're still hungover. You got no food in the system. Wednesday and Thursday, you start eating again. But come Friday, you're doing this whole cycle again. Oh, why aren't I making gains? Well, I fucking wonder why you're not making gains.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying. People ask me all the time, like, I don't know, people ask, like, people want some answer that's like, it's like, I've been training for 15 years and like consistently for 15 years. And I've put on 30 pounds of muscle in 15 years, maybe like if that, and people want to like, I want to get to some kids 180. And he's like, I want to be 205 and lean. I'm like, dude, you better unless you're like someone who's gifted.
How's this one? How do I put on muscle fast? I want to put on muscle fast. I'm like, oh, well, fucking when you find out, let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, I just found the thing that popped up here on the internet. Heading: How gym obsessed men are coping with body image in lockdown. I'm
doing fine.
Who cares? I actually saw a picture of you doing the fucking loop up on all who.
Oh yeah.
Look at you. Who said white man can't jump?
That's right. I'm not that.
Oh, you're tanned.
I still got it a little bit.
But
my body weight's down a bit, which is kind of annoying. Like
that was just the angle of the camera, wasn't it? That was trick photography.
Yeah, it was a 7-foot hoop.
No, you actually had a kindergarten. It was only 4 foot of it.
Yeah. It's all. I had Scott edit it and make it look nice.
That's good job. Good job.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I've been doing. Like I've been doing sprints outside and push-ups and horse shit. It sucks, but honestly, like, I don't know. That's the
thing. At least you're doing something. I hate when I just see people say, I hate this lockdown. I can't do anything. Yes, you fucking can. There's plenty of things you can do, but what it takes is having to use this fucking thing in here called a fucking brain. I can't go to the gym, so I can't do anything. There's many things you can do. You just got to use your fucking head and become creative. That's all. So these people go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. At the store, we literally put all the time. We put two or three like heavy mass gainer bags on the end of a like mop pole, and it ends up being like 70 pounds. But we do overheads for sets of 20 or curls for sets of 20. You get pumped up and everything.
Exactly. But that's the thing too. I've said many a times, if you're doing like you said, you see me doing those textbook reps. If you get that mind muscle connection and you're really focused and squeezing, you can make 50 pounds feel like 100 pounds as long as you get that. Don't just go like this. But if you control it, you'll get good shit out of it. Even if it came to body weight things, like you said, just that body weight tricep one. Fucking hell, doing a set of that sometimes, a couple of sets of that, you could have sometimes feels better than doing fucking tricep push downs, rope push downs, close grip benches. Doing those things, you get the biggest pump and fucking works your tricep better than anything. Even doing body weight squats. If you do body weight squats and keep the tension on your quads and then do where you sit against the wall and just hold yourself halfway down, you do shit like that. And even body weight lunges, superset with body weight squats, you'll get the best fucking quad and thigh pump ever. But people go, that's just your body weight. Well, trust me, body weight hurts just as much as real weights.
Yeah. I mean, the last couple years, my training has been, I mean, I've done 3 powerlifting meets in the last, I did like 3 in 1 year, but even when I'm training for like bodybuilding, I train heavy. Like I'm doing like 6 to 8 reps. I'm using big weights on almost all the lifts. And I'm fucking amazed at how well I've been able to maintain muscle doing fucking almost nothing. I've had 4 weight workouts the whole time. Yeah. And I'm just doing push-ups, sprinting, body weight squats here and there. And like the shit, like literally just, I might take a case of water and press it like this overhead. It's amazing how much I've probably lost 10% of my muscle maybe in 4 months.
But sometimes people don't realize too, doing something different like that is a good change and actually can maybe help your body. You might have had little injuries you didn't know about before, helps your body repair, and you're doing something different. So when you go back to the other thing, it's almost like you're refreshed, ready to go again. It's like you're just starting and you're ready to go. So that's the main thing. Now, when you do get back to the gym, people, don't go fucking crazy and go, I haven't trained for 3 months. When I left, I was benching 5 plates. Don't go throwing 5 plates on the first day back at the fucking gym.
Yeah. I have that in the back of my mind because that's something that's going to be tempting. Like there's not going to be any no sets of 6 to failure the first few weeks back.
No, just go get a nice feel, get the movement back, and be patient. You know, after a week or 2, you'll be right. But the first day, don't do it.
No. It's funny. The only time my joints hurt is when we do the show. My knees bother me from sitting so long. That's the only time my joints hurt. Other than that, I have no joint pain. Do you have joint pain?
Occasionally in the knee or elbow, but it comes and goes, hit and miss. It's just whatever.
Yeah.
The only time I have pains when I do the show because you're a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Literally and figuratively.
Literally, well, we can always use lube, Geoff. It might not hurt as much.
Wow.
Just saying.
I think never mind. Well, we'll end it there. You know.
Yes. End it on a high note.
Like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you guys think. If you want to hear more about whatever you want to hear about, what do you want to hear Lee talk about? We post the Q&A, but like a few days before every show, so look out for those. No questions are off limits. Check out True Nutrition. That's our sponsor. Like, subscribe once again. Think Big Bodybuilding.
If you get a chance, check out Arnold's book and Pro Style Bodybuilding by Tom Platz for good old basic stuff.
Yes, and Death, Drugs, and Muscle.
Yes, I haven't watched it. There's a book by Cal Skalak or someone that came out a long time ago, and he talked about he was vomiting green stuff and he had green pus coming from his eyes because he took, I forget the name of the book, I'll find out, but it was like the worst book on bodybuilding when you read it, that he had pus coming from his eyes and this and that from steroid use. It's like, I forget the name of it, Cal Skalak or Cal Muskalak, something like that. If you look it up, that's an interesting read. I don't think it was the drugs. I think he had some fucking venereal disease of the face.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a Anadrol fucking side effect.
I was reading it. This was years ago. Like pus from the eyes. I'm like, what the? Well, he got fucking conjunctivitis or something.
Oh, conjunctivitis. All right, everyone. For Lee Priest, I am Geoff Roberts. Another great show. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.